Okay, let's start. So, welcome everyone at the 27th weekly call of the DeFi Sub-governance of WTON. So we are not that many people today, but still it's we have some very important discussions and very important announcements to come. So the first one is the discussion, the first topic on the agenda is the discussion of the DEX implementation contest, and the first stage is over. So we have 7 very decent works and 5 winners out of them. And it will be the hugest payout in the DeFi sub-governance history. So it's well over 775,000 tokens. So hopefully we will do this today. So we wait for one more signature for the transaction and it will go. And now an interesting moment is coming that as we already discussed several times, so there will be the second stage of the DEX implementation, but all the solutions are very, very different. So that means that we need to think about what can be the second stage of DEXs to make this kind of contest more abstract, I would say, so that all the winners of the previous stage could join it. Does anyone have ideas on how we can do this?
Yeah, I mean, I have.
Okay.
Let's just every winner to develop further its solution to production. Let's define what production means. Let's have a stress tests and let everyone
Mm-hmm.
show how many like volume of transactions they can sustain on that, for example, or any other metric that could be production level metric.
Mm-hmm.
And that can be an objective criteria of the that means that the DEX should support like the exchange part, the if it's not in AMA by itself, like our solution, for example. So
Mm-hmm.
it should support the basic functionality of swap,
Mm-hmm.
then the some form of liquidity pool or automatic market maker, right? Because I think all the other solutions are market makers anyway. So
Mm-hmm.
like that should support that. And then some criteria of the performance level or stability level, performance level criteria, or some other criteria that can be a production level criteria that could be objectively measured. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that
Do,
will make everyone's life easier,
okay. Okay.
jury as well.
Do you have an idea of what are these measurements can be? Do you have maybe some benchmarks, some
I don't
objective
know,
benchmarks?
million stones per second or
Million tons or million transactions per second.
million tons, I mean, in value or transactions, whatever it is.
But anyone can
We
just.
define, well, we define a size of a transaction, for example, of a single transaction swap.
Mm-hmm.
And then we say what the volume of like the total exchange should
Yeah.
be. Well, just an example. I don't.
Yeah. Maybe you can somehow formalize this in text and just make a
I can think
comment.
about any
Yes.
objective
Yes.
criteria.
And
Yeah, sure. But I would be glad if everyone can join this. Like,
I think that it's absolute must for everyone to join because as Alex is commenting now in the chat that solutions are different. Not everyone uses AMM and there are different approaches. That means that there should be some universal metrics to measure the success in the second stage. Mitja, if you can you please do a favor and draft such metrics, and then we will just have a separate discussion with everyone who has won on the first stage. What do they think about them? Maybe they will enrich them and propose something else. Maybe they will criticize it a bit. And yeah, so
sure.
the objective is just for it to be fair for everyone. Okay, anyone else? Guys from Swaidev, maybe you have some ideas.
Yeah, hi everyone. No, I think for now We don't, but I think we'll happily join regarding the drafts which Mitja is about to make. And for sure, we give some comments, feedback, and our ideas.
Okay, very good. Very good. Any other opinions? Okay, in this case, so what I propose, Mitja, if you can just do this, not in the in sophisticated manner, but rather quickly, so that we could host another discussion, hopefully on Monday, about these terms of this next stage contest. So it would be brilliant, and so that we could next week already think about launching it. Oh, you shared
Okay.
something? Oh, Oracle. I just
I
wanted
have
to
shared oracles. Yeah.
just wanted to ask you about this. Okay, very good. Yeah, I was just coming to this, and yeah. So as all of you remember, or maybe not, we actually decided to postpone the stablecoin contest a bit because most of architectures rely on the Oracle implementation, and that means that first we need some oracles to be built on the free TON that everyone can rely on. And Mitja did us a great favor and drafted this contest. I don't know anything what's inside yet.
Well, what is inside is, I can tell you, very simple. I took what the first part of our work with Andre, which was not a ton, and I just made it a contest for. It's basically some piece of server software that feeds the price to the contract, and then not the elector contract, which takes the prices and make a consensus about them, and decisions about this consensus, like slashing someone who is not providing a correct price, whatever it is, and that's it basically, and then fits the other smart contract with this price feed. So some other smart contract can subscribe to this proxy smart contract and get the feed and use it, whatever
Okay.
design
Okay.
of the stable.
If I remember it well, so when we had the discussion about oracles some time ago, it was maybe 5 or 6 months ago. So there was an idea that provision such prices should not be free of charge, of course. Yeah, and the consumer of this price feed should pay for it. So
Yeah, that's not a problem. So but that's why we have a proxy contract with subscription. So
okay.
if you, of course, if you subscribe, well, you can add it to the contest. If you subscribe, like the economics of that is the following: that the oracles, which are not a validator, yeah, not a validator, should receive some fee for providing the correct price. So it gains something when it provides a correct price. The others are slashed if they provide not correct prices. And then the consumer of that should subscribe to the proxy contract to get the price. If you subscribe to the proxy contract, you should pay something for the subscription, and this mechanism can be implemented in the proxy contract. And where the money goes, I have no idea. Like, goes probably to validators that fits the price.
Yeah, it's an open question actually, and who should be the beneficiary of this payment? I'll just pause. Yes, someone is probably Ivan. Yeah, Ivan, please.
Yeah, may I ask, so the prices are like not a floating point number, and how to make consensus about floating point number, taking into account that different like exchanges and sources of this price have like slightly like different numbers. So how to be sure that submitting a price and like, is it some epsilon, or what is the logic of like deciding is it correct price or not?
Well, the logic is described, so it's like the formulas are there. How to implement them, like how to make the way around the floating point, is up to the like participants of the contest, I think.
Okay. I invite everyone actually to join the discussion on this document. Mitja, maybe you could also post this on the forum as well, so just to broaden the audience. I
Sure.
just dropped the link to the document in the DeFi group as well, so just for people to see it. I also will pin it. Yeah, so I think it will be a great piece of the DeFi ecosystem. So I'm really curious what
Well,
will go
basically the
this.
idea is that we turn the whole free TON into one huge oracle, and it doesn't matter what, if it's a price feed. It can be any feed. It can be anything
Yeah.
we want to agree upon. Like tomorrow you want, I don't know, the sport events to be like results of a sports event to be fit into that, and you can do that as well. We have a partnership we're discussing with Wolfram Alpha, for
Northern Alpha,
example.
yeah.
Yeah, and currently, right? It's in the working, and they can provide like tons of data into to be fed into the ecosystem. So this is a mechanism that will enable like any data to be fed, as long as you can even create a proxy subscriptions for the data in advance before the feeding the data actually. So
yeah, I just wanted to ask.
If it gains enough subscriptions, which pays the validator can then pick up this proxy contract like a demand and fit the data into that, like deploy the not an elector contract, fit the data into that would fit the oracle, and they already guaranteed the payout because many people or whatever people like put a demand on that with some money with that they put the money and say, if you provide me with the fiat, I will pay you this.
Yeah, so data on demand, actually. DOD,
Exactly.
a favorite abbreviation, Triton.
Exactly.
Okay, Alex, please.
Hi, guys. Mitja, I looked now for a couple minutes your draft, and I have two questions. First, as I remember, we agreed that we make first contest for design for Oracle.
The design is already done. Like we already had it in the contest of stablecoin. Like in this respect, I don't think we need a design. I think we need just an implementation already. If we already agreed on the design of the stablecoin and the design of the price oracle was already included into that, why do we need an additional stage? Well, basically for that, I would just copy paste a first part of our paper with Andrew, and that would be the submission. I mean, why do we need to spend another month on that contest?
Well, no, as I look now, you describe in this contest implementation really of your design. It's not.
It's just a design of a. It just is. Yes, this is a design of an oracle. I mean, this does not really connect to the stable coin. Meaning, that's what I said last time. Like this part is completely generic. Because you can take that feed. It's basically a part of how do we agree on the feed of a correct price, and you can then take this price and use in whatever design, right?
Yes, I remember very well Oracle design in your submission. But it's possible to implement different types of oracles, even without not validators, and a different approach to agree with price. Yes,
I am not sure actually. Like, of course, there could be differences in the design of the consensus, and of course, you can create another. What the question is, like in the end, you would need to agree on the correct price feed or data feed, and you would need to incentivize people to provide you with this feed, with the correct feed, and disincentivize provide the people who provide you with incorrect feed, right? So of course you can probably think of designs like you have a chain link, for example, designed kind of kind of system like that.
Yes, somebody
right?
possibly do it.
But in the end, it will all do the same thing. So question is, do you want to spend time on discussing this design again, or you just want to implement something?
I mean, for example, somebody can do like relay nodes for bridge, to do relay nodes for connect with chain link, and agreed about price, not in the TON blockchain.
Well,
and it's possible design,
yeah,
but in your
it is
draft
possible,
now,
right? But it's
not possible.
It is possible, of course, but that would mean for an on-chain event in FreeTON just to trust someone.
Yes, like in
And
bridge.
it also means that
Guys, please
token-
raise hands. I see Vladimir's hands raised.
Sorry.
So yeah, just
I
in
mean,
the sequence.
like in bridges, we need to trust to relay nodes for now.
No, you don't, actually. You don't. Like, if you create a design, well, again, it's possible to create such a design for bridges that you would take the data in the same principle and agree on this data on chain. And if you would do that, that would be much more trustful and decentralized system than what you have now with just someone providing you with a feed and saying, okay, you know, we just trust this feed.
Okay.
No, it's mean that
so the question is not if we have a different design. There's a question of, is this design more decentralized, has more like properties that we believe is just better to have rather than not to have. And if then you can say, okay, you can create a different design for an on-chain system. Yeah, that's one thing. Or you can say, okay, but there is a possibility of design which is trustful, like you need to trust someone. But if we say, okay, let's create a design, let's run a contest for design just on-chain systems. Well, that's maybe like that has value, maybe. But if you just say, let's just have a trustful design while we can have trustless design, then I don't understand the logic.
No, decentralized way. Yes, maybe.
Yes,
it's very important. Yes, trustless.
Yes, let's give Vladimir a chance to say something.
Okay.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. So I think Mitja has published this paper before. I'm not sure whether in our chat. So I've read it. I really like the idea, and I think it's even worth running the contest, maybe in general governance, and it's definitely worth implementation. But I wanted to raise some concerns which were in the DeFi community. Do I correctly understand that if we run a contest like it is published in this document, then it will depend on the Rust implementation of the node? It's the first thing.
No.
And then this.
No, there's nothing to do with implementation of the node at all. Like it's all a smart contract and the system which feeds the data over like TON SDK GraphQL protocol. So you don't need any node.
Okay.
At all.
But it can be done through the validator node. But at this point,
it doesn't need to be. No, it doesn't.
It doesn't need to be.
No.
Okay.
It's actually not supposed to be run in the validator node. It's like it's called not a validator for a reason. So like and you can write it's actually there in the contest. So you can write this piece of server software that feeds the data in any way or form you like. And just a server software that takes the data from wherever you want, and then you need to take an SDK and just post this data to the blockchain, to the Electro smart contract. And the only thing you need to prove is that you have actually I need to probably make it more clear in the document, that you are the one which has a stake in the not elector. So your signature, like you should sign this with the signature when you make this to the elect. So it's like more or less like what you have in elector contract right now. So you send the data signed with the key that is in the elector contract, which has a stake. So not the elector contract. So not elector will take your feed only if this feed signed by the key of the not the validator, which called not the validator, right? And then so it can slash you if you provide wrong data and reward you if you provide the correct data. That's all.
Well,
So
okay,
you don't need to have any validator.
Guys, I propose to study the document more thoroughly and maybe host a discussion on Monday, because it's worthless just to see some points at first sight and discuss them now. Maybe it's worth at least to read all the documents. Take some time.
Yes, but my question was that a lot of works in Stablecoin contest and in DEX contest were relying on Oracle. Does it mean that, and a couple of teams also asked this question, does it mean that we're going to postpone the next stages, implementation stages, until the Oracle contest is passed? I think we raised this question, but I'm not sure we had.
I think it doesn't no need to postpone anything. Like for now, you can mock this feed in your DEX implementation if you need it. Just mock it.
Stablecoin implementation.
Yes, no, in any implementation, just mock if you need to use stablecoin. Oh, sorry, the price feed. Just mock it, like you have received it from some smart contract.
And then, that's a good idea.
And then when the implementation of this Oracle will be finished, you will just replace it with a real feed, and that's all.
Yeah, that's a good idea, especially if we manage to at least specify interface in this contest for the implementation. Then you can mock the interface and put out a lot of changes.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good idea.
Okay, Ivan, please.
Yeah. I just wanted to mention that in digital contest, latest digital contest and previous digital contest, like R Squad team, like included like price provider contract, which was not designed initially, but they included it, and it actually like provides like fake prices for like governance tokens, for example.
Okay. Any other opinions on this? Okay, seems no. In this case, so we switch, move on and switch to further announcements. So we have quite a number of them today. And first of all, I would like to announce that TON Alliance and TON Labs will be participating in two local meetups in Moscow that will take place a week after the next week, so something like April 20th and April 22nd. So if anyone is in Moscow, so we will definitely post the announcement in advance when all details are finalized. So everyone, you're welcome to come and just communicate in offline, which is something really extraordinary nowadays. And hope to see everyone there. And so I will also be discussing and telling about what is the DeFi ecosystem in TON and what we are doing here. So so I welcome everyone to come. The separate announcements, of course, will come, and with all the details, where it will be and at what time. So just try to fix the timing. It's most probably it will be on April 20th and April 22nd in the evening, something like 7 p.m. So yeah, just free your calendar. The second important announcement actually is about the security audit of the Ethereum bridge. So as I announced a bit earlier, so we were in discussion with several security audit teams, and we are approaching the launching of the security audit of this implementation of the breach with 2 teams. I will name them once we just finalize all the papers, and it means that hopefully within a month or so we will get, at least we expect to get the formal security audit of the breach, which is good. And also we pretty finalized the bug bounty program with Immunify that we had a discussion about earlier, and hopefully it will be launched this week or maybe early next week. So if you have some hackers who would like to participate in this bug bounty, there are some good prizes, and so please, you're welcome. And all the conditions will be published on the Immunify website, and of course I will drop the link to the DeFi group. And pretty similar, I think we will do for all the other solutions that will be hosted here. So we will just run Ethereum breach as a pilot, and afterwards we will select the best solutions to include in this program as well. And now we are coming to one of the greatest announcements that we have. So it's not yet officially announced. So you are just the first, will be the first ones to know this. So Broxus team has released the WTON token that works pretty similar to Ethereum or Bitcoin. It's tradable TIP3 token that can be transferred to Ethereum network, and it is listed on Uniswap. So the Uniswap listing will be officially announced later this week. So we are just finalizing some minor technical stuff like icons, like token description, and all of this. And actually, the pool itself is operational. There is already some liquidity in it, and there will be also 2 articles published about this this week and next week, also on several popular resources, including the Cointelegraph. So you remember this discussion earlier this week. Yeah, and I invite everyone just to join and test it. So actually getting WTONs is easy. So currently it's supported only in the TON Crystal wallet, but we are planning to extend the support also for dbots to support this in Surf browser. And yeah, so you need just to update to the latest version and send the TON crystals to the contract address and get back your WTONs. I will also drop the instruction here in the group. So congrats everyone. So I think that's a big step, and I also give a big thanks to my team who did this, because it was not really something that can be easily done. So yeah, that's pretty it. So if you have any questions, please ask.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Many congratulations. What is better to do for us? I mean, it's now for testing, or it's better to increase some, I don't know, to trading or more? What do you recommend to do?
Anything you wish. So actually, of course, the more is tradable volume of TON on Uniswap, the better. And why do we need this really? We need this to raise the positions of free TON on different resources like CoinMarketCap and in different news resources, because we don't have that big coverage yet. So it's much worse projects, they have the better coverage, and having the listing on Uniswap will help us to have a good tradable volume also, and also will attract interest from traders to free TON itself, who will come here and hopefully will also join our native DEXes, and we'll all benefit from this. Yeah, Mitja.
Yeah, I wanted to just touch upon the security part, if I may.
Yeah, please.
So As you know, the new sub-governance has been approved, which hold the
Yeah, I
formal
have seen.
methods.
I have seen. Congrats, really.
So now, what I have discussed internally already, what we want to do is we want to create a process in which the first part of the formal verification, like first two stages of any formal verification, will be a kind of, can be and will be as a kind of audit.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have chosen to be formally verified by the sub-governance, your contract, the first thing we will do there is run the contests for, which would be like an audit for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I suggest actually I want to submit a proposal for the contest to the formal meta subgov
Mm-hmm.
of the two DEXes, which are the first two places. And I will explain. It's not only because TON Labs did the second one,
Mm-hmm.
and we actually means extend. It's just because we have different architectures, and I think both of them are kind of beneficiary to have. That's why I mean, even if we would win the first place, I would still do the 1, 2, maybe 3. I mean, it's up to you what you think. Actually, I don't know how many places we should include, but that's what I want to propose. And so we will have DEXs which are first quite quickly could be audited as a part of the formal verification process.
Why not?
And then formally verified.
I think actually this is a great idea and a great initiative itself. And also we can even broaden this to the extent that how we work with DevX sub-governance right now. So we, as you know, have a combined jury for smart contracts part, and we can do the same with how do you abbreviate this format sub-governance? Yeah, we can think about how we can at the end of when the DeFi product is ready, production ready, how it can be then moved to the next stage of the security audit to format sub-governance. And I think that all the free TON will benefit from it. And I did not dig really in your proposal for this because I just scan it diagonally. I have seen a lot of good initiatives there, and I will definitely would like to join your calls. Yeah, just to hear what your thoughts or what you're going to, how you're going to run it, and maybe we'll invent something on how we can better organize a process of interaction between two different sub-governances.
Yes, absolutely. And also, because of this change in process, now more teams which are doing audits, not formal verifications, because that's much, of course, harder. But we can encourage other teams, like the teams that are doing formal, the audit, participate in the formal verification sub-governance, at least in the first, stages.
Yeah, of course. And when do you have the next call of this sub-governance? Or you have not set up yet?
Every Monday at 3 p.m. Moscow time, I think.
Monday, 3 p.m. Okay. Can you please drop the link to the next call to the DeFi group as well? I think there will be a lot of people who would like to join as well.
Absolutely.
Good. Okay, now I have another day scheduled for free TON. Okay, good. Yes, Dmitry, please.
Yes, hello. I would like to ask Mitja and take this opportunity to ask regarding formal verification sub-governance procedure. Since the end of first stage DEX contest, there are several. There are 3 DEXs which are very close in terms of points. How another DEX can get to the formal verification?
I will just include 3. And I want it for input. Like I don't have a particular view on that, so it's up to you. Like we can you know, I can just put 3.
Okay.
Like up to you to decide.
Okay, thank you. Do you have any procedure, maybe written or maybe you can
yes,
just...
it's I think the procedure is, well, it's in the formal method sub-governance proposal. It's on the forum. But in general, you don't really need to worry about that, meaning that the sub-governance is not like when we run a formal verification process, we only communicate with the team when on the later stages, like when the like most of the verification is done without the involvement of the team. So it's done purposely. So you don't really need to do anything. Like there will be some questions on the later stage maybe, and you will be involved in some scenarios maybe, but other than that, there is no involvement of the team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, good. And I have also,
so of course, apart from the bug reporting that will come to the team from this from the process, from the teams who are doing verification. Then of course, if they find something, then they will of course contact you and will tell you that we probably found a bug or an issue and so on. And then they will ask to for you to fix it or to do something.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Perfect. Yes, Alex, please.
Sorry, I don't finish with question about liquidity pool, and it's okay about security we talk, but now it's used more for testing. I mean about liquidity pool, not about breach, or it's work because it's Uniswap. What we can test where? And
it's actually not about testing already, because we have tested it thoroughly with different teams, including teams from TON Alliance, but rather tell and distribute the information about this, that TON is listed on Uniswap, so that everyone who wants to bring something useful, just invite the fellow traders also to join on Uniswap, to buy there, because the more liquidity is there, the better. Also,
of course, there is arbitrage opportunity, right?
yes, and that's actually a very good opportunity, by the way. And
Mitja, it's my business now.
Great. Let me join. Let's talk after the meeting.
Okay, brilliant. And also, as you may know, so there are some staking rewards coming in the bridge as well on when the DAO is operational. And yeah, this is just a hint. So why you should also stake the liquidity on Uniswap for TON.
You want to use staking in liquidity in Uniswap for staking for your bridge, how I understand, correct?
Our bridge, I would say. I wouldn't name it.
Yes.
Just this is a product that will be beneficial for the community. And also, after this stage is over, so the team is planning to implement the fully functional DAO on TON Bridge.io, and there will be also a procedure on adding new relay validators. So, and everyone from the community can apply also.
Yes, I remember it's in your design, but I thought that a stake will be in TON blockchain, not in Uniswap liquidity pool.
It's actually in design yet, so I cannot just say about how it will be exactly implemented. Once we have something to show, so I will immediately do, of course.
To do it in liquidity Uniswap, yes, from possibility, yes.
Yes, it's one possibility. Now we are starting work without any programs for liquidity providers. After tests and some arbitrage, we will launch a liquidity program. We will launch program for liquidity providers on Uniswap, and I hope it will help to us attract more liquidity from TON community and from external community.
Yeah. There are TON Crystal Rapid, yes, ERC20.
Yes, we are thinking now about mechanic because for external community they don't know about TON, and maybe it will be liquidity. Maybe it will be rewards for liquidity providing in native TON Crystal. In this way, they will launch. They will.
Special giver.
They will install our wallets, different wallets, and they will start work with TON natively. It's our goal.
No, it means that liquidity pool will be pair Ethereum with rapid TON ERC20 TON Crystal, but rewards for staking will be in natural tokens.
Yes, it's correct.
Okay, good idea. Okay, thank you. It's very important and very interesting things.
Yeah, more interesting things are coming. This is just a start, you know. Yeah, also WinteX team asked me to just tell that they were also working on the next stage draft, so of the bridge, and hopefully they will just come with it next week. So they are doing some research on how to better approach the next stage. This is just some also news. Okay, guys, that's it from my side. So if anyone has something to discuss as well, so please. Yeah, Alex, please. Normally it's the role of Ivan, you know.
Yesterday was first call in NFT Sub-governance.
Okay.
They not start yet, but want to do it. And they discuss about first grants, about first contents, and want to do first contest for TIP3 token NFT token.
NFT, okay.
An NFT token, yes, sorry. And they ask many questions to DeFi sub-governments through me. I answered that I know, but forward many questions to Mitja. And there are some questions that we have some NFT in DEX implementation and in breach from Broxus breach. And they ask it will be some TIP3 token from maybe from DeFi sub-governments, or they can implement because they want to do contest and 100,000 token crystal for invent this TIP3 token. And I said, I'm not sure how it's to do better, but I think we need to discuss this and with Mitja and with DeFi sub-governments, and especially who implement in DEXes and in bridges.
Yeah, actually, I see Michael also here and Ivan who were asking such questions also to Broxus team. Actually, the question is not really easy. Yeah, so NFT in its essence is an easy thing, yes, but depending on the applications of this NFT, it can vary very vastly in implementation. So you can see different implementations of NFTs, ones that contain inside some digital digital art or other things, others that serve just a certificate, and so on and so forth. Actually, Mitja has already provided NFT specification in TIP3. And of course, it is just a starting point. And I would propose just to start with precising which kind of NFT they want to start with, because it will really affect the standard. And I'm not really sure if we have already distributed storage in place. I remember we had some discussion some time ago about this, but I think that's due to workload, so we didn't move much further. And I can answer also about the transferring current Ethereum NFTs through TON bridge. It is possible, but currently our team is focused on finalizing the second stage of the bridge and approaching the DAO. And this means that we simply do not have resources currently to support this kind of transfer. Normally, bridge itself is just data agnostic. So it just accepts data on one side and transfer it with a consensus to the other side. But the main point is that you need to create special contracts on both sides to transfer and to accept data. And these contracts will take some time to develop. So yeah, it's possible, but not possible exactly right now. So, but maybe it will be in future. And if anyone has some resources or idea on how to use this, so we have just all the sources of our contracts open. You can write your one to just support specific standard of NFT and transfer it through the bridge.
Maybe not so bad idea to do in NFT Sub-governance TIP3, but in connection with Broxus, yes, who make a bridge, and with DeX.
It doesn't really depend, you know, on the bridge itself. So it depends again on implementation of the type of NFT token. And
no, I mean, it will be bad idea if will implementation of type 3, but it doesn't work with bridges, for example.
No, why it will not work? It will. You just need to write the contract that correctly interacts with the bridge. That's it. And by the way, we have been contacted by several teams, including Swai Dev team and some other teams, proposing to just have a discussion on standardizing the TIP3 changes, because the DeX Contest showed that several teams just invented their own way of TIP3 token. And in fact, this is not something that Freeton will benefit from. And of course, we need to somehow synchronize and improve the standard itself for DEXes, for other implementations, and so forth. So we don't have exact time of the call, but once we have it, so we'll of course share it here, and so anyone is welcome also to join to this discussion. Yes, Ivan.
Maybe we could. Maybe. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So Ivan first.
Okay.
Mitja, would you please like introduce the what you said on this matter on the DeX call, because I just asked that same question, or maybe okay, Mitja is not here.
I am here.
Yeah.
But,
okay.
So just yeah.
Trying to understand what to present.
No. I'm. Please repeat, because I like we have a.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the question was about TIP3 and the standards, etc. So yeah, would you please describe the process as we see it?
The process is very simple, and it's described in full in the engine. The bot is consortium process, the same process. So you basically like. you submit, like there should be a repo in TON.org that should be created, and you submit. There are guidelines for submitting like your interfaces for TIP3, and you just submit it there, and it should be like approved, accepted by the whatever maintainers of this repository, and then it becomes a part of the standard. Again, it means that anyone who wants to interact with your token, with your implementation of TIP3, can just go there, see your like interfaces and implement it. But that's it.
Yeah, and so I kindly ask some developers from teams who want to participate in describing that standards and creating interfaces. So please write me in PM. I'm now collecting all the like GitHub names of all contributors or maintainers who would like to join for this repository, and we will shortly announce like the links and the invites, and create all folders. Like maybe on the start of the next week, it all will be ready. So for now, we are structuring like all this process. So yeah,
which one do you mean? The process of interacting with TON.org?
Yeah. The process of like submitting your like proposals or interfaces, or as well as contest submissions, which contains some code, because like we have an issue that if someone like implemented some contest submission and received his reward, he is free to close the repository.
I remember the discussion earlier this week. Exactly.
So we started this process. I'm like volunteering for supporting this GitHub. So please write.
Okay, we have 6 minutes left. So if anyone wants to discuss anything, so please raise your hand. And Michael.
Confused of raising hand on mobile. Speaking about the NFT and TIP3 standard discussion, maybe it will be some sort of a logical step to wait for the NFT marketplace contest to be over. So we will see the submissions of different teams. And maybe after that, we should like gather best practices from all the contracts presented and create something maybe solid for implementing on next stages or whatever.
I think you misunderstood a bit. So we do not discuss NFT TIP3 here. So we have separate sub-governance for this. We are discussing the TIP3 token that is used in DEXes, actually. So it's fungible tokens. And actually, what happened is that several teams just created their own standards that are pretty much similar to each other, but they're different. And we need to synchronize
in the DEX contest. Right?
Yes, exactly. So, and that's why we need to synchronize and just to create the kind of uniform interface for such tokens and agree on the implementation.
About fungible tokens, FT tokens. But,
exactly.
At the same point, lots of people just confusing NFTs, while some of them are FTs when there is an amount, not one of one, but one of many. So maybe this should be somehow cross-linked to the NFT part, because in the market, one of one and one of many still, no?
If they are divisible, then they are not NFTs, actually.
But they can have the properties like a picture to be attached, and still there might be
I agree. So actually, I think this is two different cases, and we should not try to kind of
combine them
to uniform all and everything. So of course there are different approaches, different use cases, and whatever. I would rather have a separate standard for fungible tokens that can be used in DEXs, in bridges, in whatever payment protocol we will develop in future. And as for NFTs, so they have absolutely different area of application, and they deserve a separate standard, in my opinion. Of course, they can share something in common between themselves, kind of distributed manner, some root contracts in center, and so on and so forth. But all other things in the interface can be different, and they should. There is no obligation to have them uniformed.
Oh, okay. So in any case, from the NFT standpoint, we just watch and see what's going on within NFT marketplaces. Meanwhile, the DEX developers, let's say, will be developing the FT standard, and then we can see what kind of parts of those contracts can be shared for the for the benefit of all.
Yeah,
Okay, I got
it's back and forth movement. So we will do some things and we see what's done well on each side and think about further improvements. I really like the phrase on Rob Ethereum website. There is a special section that is saying, is there a future, what's going on in the future for Rob Ethereum? And they said, hopefully nothing. And that's it. So the standard is good enough to live for years. And that's pretty similar for ERC20. So it exists for so much time. And of course, there were some improvements to it and some other ERCs, but it's widely spreaded and it's good. That's it. So hopefully we will come to some interface that will just survive for a long time enough to become a real standard. So, but I would like to remind that we in the very beginning still.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, we have 1 more minute left, so I don't think that we will host any other discussion for now. So I would like to thank everyone for coming and wish you a nice weekend. So talk to you next week then. Bye-bye.
Thanks, cheers, bye-bye.
Thank you, bye.
Bye-bye.